Okay, so this is a first for me. I'm going to do a sketchbook tour. Woo! Okay, so you guys actually requested this, my 4 followers so far. But I thought it would be a great way for me to kind of introduce my channel. So, and the kind of content that I do. So hopefully you can hear me okay. I've decided I'd kind of do a more laid back kind of voiceover thing. But yeah, I talk a lot and none of this is scripted. So here we go. So this is the first page. This is something that I've seen a lot of other artists do. I actually started this on Christmas of last year. And I just did kind of a quick drawing to kind of introduce you to my sketchbook. So it says welcome, and there's this cute little girl. She's in kind of a Christmassy outfit, I guess, because that's when I drew it. So welcome to my sketchbook, guys. This was me testing my new grayscale set of markers, and I did a face. So, yeah, I'm kind of afraid this is going to be boring, but I'm going to keep going. So, this is a character who I love. His name is Rip. It is a nickname. It's short for Richard Isaac Price. He actually is one of the characters that I designed. I was drawing randomly on the whiteboard at school, and I drew several characters, which you'll get to see all of them throughout the sketchbook. But this is Richard. I call him Rip. He's kind of moody, and he's fun to draw, so. Oh, this is just testing markers. And this is trying to make something out of when they bled through. So, this was something I did for my friend. He asked me to draw him as a superhero, and he sent me a reference photo, and I kind of drew him in this fun pose as a noir character, so. This was my attempt at drawing someone who is older looking. I'm not sure how well I did. She's supposed to be in like her 50s, and I didn't think I was accomplishing it very well, so I added like this silver streak in her hair. But yeah, I mean, other people have told me that it looks okay, so I'm not too disappointed in it. This is Stan. He's another one of those whiteboard characters. He was actually the very first one. You'll see him again sometime later. This is just a random drawing of a girl holding a coffee mug. I didn't color it. It's just a sketch, but I shaded it, so you'll probably find a lot of stuff like that in here. This was me attempting to draw the Criminal Minds characters in the Tangled the series style. I don't know that I did very well. I really liked Prentice, which you can see on the next page. I did them again in more of my style, and she is very much similar because I thought I did really well on her. So, that was the one that I thought I did well on. And then this is a picture of some twins that I did. They don't really have names. I just did them kind of for fun. That's what I do a lot of. I just draw characters and design fun outfits and never do anything else with them, so. This, my friends, it's like, if you look at my profile picture, you'll notice that this character is very similar. That's because it's kind of how I draw myself. It's kind of a self-portrait. And I sent it to my friends, and they were all like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just wanted to draw a girl crying." So I was testing out some watercolor markers that my friends had given me for Christmas, and I thought water and crying, so that's how this came about. I'm okay mentally. Okay, maybe not. But I, okay. I am fine, okay? This was just a weird concept. I decided to do a character who has like a regular body and a big smiley face for a head. So yeah, I'm not sure why, but the idea popped into my head and I did it. So this was actually my brother was standing in this room that was like lit up by a red light and it gave me serious villain vibes and I'm like, I really want to design a character. So I made him pose for me and I took his photo and he was my reference for this. And then I had to draw another character who was like the complete opposite. So she's based on like this teal green color instead of the red. And honestly, I'm not sure which one is the villain. I'm not sure if he is or she's the good guy. I think she was supposed to be the good guy, but so this is another one of my whiteboard characters, and unfortunately I didn't color her, but her name is Hannah, and she's dressed as like a magical girl here. So that's kind of what that is. I just was trying to design a fun outfit for her. This I was very proud of. This is actually, I guess you could say it's an OC. She's a Spider-Man character, obviously. But her name is Goldie. It's short for Golden Orb Weaver. And I had a lot of fun just designing an outfit for her. So this is actually a character, who was a set of characters who are based off of me and different aspects of my personality. And I've actually redesigned them all, so if you ever see them again in a video, you'll probably see the redesigned version. But this was, her name was Faith, and I've actually, in her redesign, her name is Hannah instead. But she kind of represents my conscience and my childhood innocence. So I wrote Matthew 18:4 at the top here. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like this child, this one is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So she was a lot of fun, but I'm actually really happy with her redesign too. So here's some more Goldie that are just sketches that I didn't really color. Obviously, I had to do an upside down and a spider sense, and this one's fun where she's swinging, and this one's without her mask, so I actually haven't done anything else with her. I'm kind of sad about that. This was a random cat girl. Okay, so the story behind this is kind of funny. I designed her a long time ago in a very old sketchbook. And then at like 2 in the morning I couldn't sleep, so I decided to get up and I was reminded of her, so I went and found the old picture and I redesigned her. This is another one of those personality characters. Her name is Minerva. She's actually the only one whose name didn't change. She represents like my logic and not creativity, reasoning, wisdom, curiosity. That's the word I was looking for. Her outfit has changed, but her name has not, and her personality has not. So at the top I wrote Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. This is a random character whose name is Trevor Pike, because you probably can't see it on the video there. But I'm not sure what I did with his skin there. I was using my watercolor markers instead of my regular skin tone set, and so he turned out very orange. But other than that, I was really happy with his design, so. This is a random girl. I drew the pose first, and I thought she kind of looks like some sort of genie or something, so I gave her an outfit that reminded me of that. This is another one of those personality characters. Her name was Valentina, and she represented my passion. She's since been completely changed and redone. She's actually been combined with the next one, which was my creativity, to represent romanticism, and her new name is Aurora, but she still wears a pretty red dress. And at the top I wrote John 13:35, "By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." So here was the next one that I mentioned. She was my creativity, and I was actually really happy with her design. I'm kind of sad that I scrapped it in the redesign. But yeah, her name was Calliope. And I chose Ephesians 2:10. "For we are his creation, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared ahead of time so that we should walk in them." This is a random doodle. She asked me to draw her. She was a friend of mine, and this is my brother. I was kind of explaining to the people who were there that my style makes everyone look like little kids. And then when I was flipping through and found this page again, I was actually at my grandma's house, and so I tried to draw her. I don't think it looks very much like her, but the attempt was to draw somebody who looked older, so I think I at least managed that. Oh, anyone who's been here before will recognize this. This was the first art piece that I did on my channel here. And the other pieces that I've done here on my channel are in this sketchbook as well, so you'll get to see them again. Here's another one of those personality characters. Her original name was Phoebe. I think she's the one whose outfit has changed the least in the redesign. Her new name is Jorah, which means rain, and she originally represented like fear and disappointment, but now if Aurora represents romanticism, then she's like the elements of the sublime. So I chose 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fearfulness, but one of power, love, and sound judgment." Here is Stan again, and this is another one of those characters. This is his sister, Katie, and at the top I wrote, "Love one another as brothers and sisters." Oh, this is my current profile pic. It was a self-portrait, so yeah. I got a lot of grief on this foot because I was told that it was too big, but it's perspective, guys. The foot is closer to you. And ta-da, here is my biosphere character, and this random note card that has James 2:17 on it. So you see, faith by itself isn't good enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. It's the New Living Translation. So yeah, I must have stuck that in here randomly. This was fan art for my cousin's channel. She is CJ the Random Child, so you should totally go check her out. She has art videos and music videos. She does a lot of random stuff, hence the name. But yeah, here's a shout out to her. I love her. She's very supportive of me. Go check her out. And this is actually a character that I designed with her. His name is Zach. She actually came up with the concept for him. But over time, he's kind of become like both of our character. As well as the next one. So this is Zach Gamalio, and this is Samantha Callisto. They, along with a character named Aaron Mace, who I'm afraid isn't in this sketchbook, were three characters in this story that we were writing together. It was called Star, Moon, and Shadow, and if it ever gets out of the planning stages, then maybe you'll hear more about it. This is a random character designed after my friend. I think I was doing some sort of character design challenge. So here are her like characteristics. She's a leader, problem solver, courageous, passionate, competitive, motivated by vision, and she has a tendency to run people over, and she's insensitive, which are her bad qualities. But her name is Jessica. I'm not sure why. No, it was inspired by my friend's name, which also starts with a J, but this character doesn't actually look like her. It's just based off of a pose that she sent me. So she was kind enough to do that. Shout out to her. This was another character design one that I am definitely not proud of. I was basing it off of a genre, fantasy classic, and this color palette here that I failed to use effectively. So I named her Princess Dahlia Rose. And then when I absolutely hated her outfit, I tried to pick different colors. So first I tried to reuse the colors that I had, and I didn't like that either. So I just chose my own colors, and I really liked this one a lot better. So if I ever actually draw her again, I'll definitely use those, but I have not redrawn her at all, ever, so. Here's my Hydrosphere character. You guys should all know who he is at this point. None of them have names. Like, maybe we should fix that. You know, comment below what you think my Biosphere and Hydrosphere characters' names should be, or you can comment on those videos, either way. And then, if I get lots of comments, I will choose one and mention them in my next video in that series, which I promise I will make more of. I know it's been a long time and this is my first video in forever, but in all honesty, I kind of hated my voiceovers, and I thought I should just do this more laid-back video to kind of get my spirits back up. So this is the last of those personality ones. She was kind of my chaos character. Her name was Mara, which anyone who's read the Book of Ruth will know means bitter. But she's since been redesigned, and her redesign is actually in this sketchbook. Her name is Pandora, and she doesn't represent chaos anymore, she represents nonsense. So I thought that was a little bit more positive, and it's a good contrast with logic as well. Logic and nonsense, the opposites there, so I thought that was good. And I wrote Psalm 46:6 at the top here. The nations are in chaos, and their kingdoms crumble. God's voice thunders, and the earth melts. This was a fun little comic thing I did. My friend suggested it to me. I asked them, okay guys, give me an incorrect quote, and I'm going to use some characters and just draw it. So they gave me this quote. One person screams. The other person screams louder to assert dominance. Third person, should we stop them? And fourth person, nah, I want to see who wins. So, this is Katie and Stan. You've already seen them. And then Rip. And the other character who you haven't seen yet, her name is Anya. She's actually the oldest of the group. She's quite a bit more responsible, so I had to put her in that role asking if she should stop them, and of course they're siblings. Who else is gonna do that? This is actually a character, her name is Night Owl, and if any of you guys have seen the show Miraculous Ladybug, I am not necessarily promoting it. It's kind of boring as I've kind of grown up, but because the plot is very repetitive. But if you guys like romantic tension, you should totally go check it out, because there is a love square. And it's so annoying to people who watch the series, but that's why we keep coming back. So she's kind of a miraculous OC, I guess you could say. She's got this belt buckle, which is the snowy owl miraculous, and she has this bow, and I think we decided her power was silent flight, like Lucky Charm, Cataclysm, Silent Flight, and her name is Night Owl, so here's another, I guess, self-portrait. I'm sitting with a cat in my lap. This was just a sketch. I think it was supposed to be my cat Sugar, but I decided some point before I finished that I was done with it. So the cat's just white, and my cat Sugar is actually a tabby, like a brown tabby. So this, I was actually really proud of this. Okay, so this is I think the last of my whiteboard characters who you haven't seen yet. His name is Bobby. His full name is Robert Page, which is actually written in binary behind him, but you can't see all of it because, of course, I put it behind him. But he's kind of a computer geek. He's actually the youngest of all of them. There's 6 of them. So Bobby is a lot of fun to draw, and I was really proud of this one. So this is Pandora, who I was talking about. I was kind of trying to establish her new outfit. So she wears this goofy hat, which I actually have. It was like a party favor at a kid's birthday party that I went to. And it's like this neon yellow leopard print fedora. So I had to give her that. And then since her main color is yellow, I did the yellow shirt, and I kind of did the mismatched socks because she's my nonsense character, and only one strap on her overalls and only one cuffed while the other is literally inside her socks. So it's kind of supposed to be as if a little kid was allowed to pick their outfit for the day, but a little bit more cohesive, I guess. This is another comic that you actually can't see. This was my first draft, and I didn't like how the panels turned out, so I had to redraw it. So it's kind of a stupid little comic, but it's based off of another incorrect quote that my friend actually did. So her name, this was on Wattpad, okay? So if you get on Wattpad and you look up Calyptoast, then you will find this quote book. I am Star, and my 2 friends here are Calypso and Freaky. I'm not going to explain why their names are that way, but shout out to them. Calypso is actually the one who is writing the book, and she's got a few other things on Wattpad as well that are fun to read. So does Freaky, if you look him up, but I don't recall exactly what his username is, so I'm sorry to him. But yeah, this was the comic. It was an incorrect quote. So I go to the store, and they say over the intercom, "Would a Miss Star please come to the front of the building?" "Hi, is there a problem?" "I believe these 2 belong to you. We got lost." I didn't even bring you 2 with me. Okay. So this is totally something that would happen to the 3 of us. They are chaotic, especially together. But that was just a lot of fun to draw. I did it really fast, so I'm not super proud of all of the work here, but yeah. And then you saw this briefly when I flipped the page there. This is obviously DuckTales fan art. Wibby Vanderquack. I love her. She's adorable. And the next page is also DuckTales fan art. So, here's the triplets. Huey, Dewey, Louie, smarter, tougher, sharper. That's what Uncle Scrooge says. And, I was so proud of this. The Junior Woodchuck guidebook and the coin flip are my favorite two things about this piece. But, I was really happy with how it turned out. I love the triplets, all three of them. Don't make me choose which one is my favorite. Okay, this is a random piece. And everybody who sees it is like, oh wow, I really like that. And I'm like, why? I don't get it. I don't understand. I was just messing around. I added color randomly and people seem to like it. So, it's obviously not my favorite piece, but everybody who sees it, really likes it. So I hope you guys like it. This is, yeah, his name is Mind Shadow. It's probably kind of hard to see. He's in a really boring pose, but he's a superhero. And, I'm actually not going to explain much more about that. You know what? Here's Pandora again, in a fun pose this time. Of course she has to be making that face. This was a fun concept that I actually stole from myself. I had the idea a long time ago in a different sketchbook, and I kind of redrew it. So I had this idea for like this really kind of fancy girl, and this country girl who is like her best friend, who she doesn't really like. So my brother came up with the names actually. Their names are Margaret and Tony. And Tony totally calls her Meg. That's canon if I do any kind of story with them. But I thought they were really cute together, and it was kind of a fun clash of personalities, so. This is a random sketch in preparation for the next page. So this is actually mine and my cousin's Voltron OCs. This is Zena. She was mine, and this is Kirsten. So I drew them kind of more in my style, and then more in the Voltron style. Because I wanted to do this selfie redraw. So this is, I was actually here, and my friend was here, and a few other friends. This was actually taken at prom, which is why there are random glasses sitting there. And I had to figure out which characters to add. But my friend's pose I thought was just like perfect for Keith there. And my friend who was here was actually prom queen, so I decided to do Princess Elora there. And my friend here calls herself a gremlin, so Paige fit there perfectly. So yeah. Oh, this was a fun character. This is just a character based off of summer. I think the prompt word was heat. We were doing some sort of drawing challenge, and my brother came up with the prompt. It was actually done on the whiteboard, and then I redrew him in my sketchbook. So this is a fun character. I'm not even sure why. But I decided that I wanted to do a character with cargo pants and spiky hair. And then I named him Dylan. And then here it says smug wink, and here it says blushes intensely. To kind of show his personality. He's smirking here, so obviously he's kind of smug. And I imagine him being kind of flirty, but at the same time, he's also super shy. If anyone tries to flirt back. so he's gonna blush. And his name is Dylan. So this was actually the guest pastor at our church. I was sitting in the back on a Sunday night, and I had my sketchbook out, and I started sketching him. And then one of my first some of the older people at church came back. They kind of like to see what I'm drawing, and they're all like, "Oh, it's our pastor!" Like immediately. And then my dad comes back, and he's like, "Oh, that's our pastor, isn't it?" So he steals my sketchbook, and then walks out because the pastor and his family were already on their way out. So he catches them on the front steps and shows them, and his family wants to take a picture because apparently it actually looks a lot like him. So yeah, that's the story behind that piece. This was it was based off of a random picture I saw on Instagram. I'm like, I'm gonna draw this character. His outfit's fun. So yeah, that's the story behind that. This is Cole, Ghost Cole. I had a lot of fun with the colored line art, the green line art. I never do that sort of thing, where it's all just one color. It's something that you see a lot in digital art and is very hard to pull off in traditional art, like I typically do. So of course I do colored line art sometimes. I have some colored liners. But I don't typically do just one color. If I do, black. I do black line art, but I don't typically do this light color. But I thought it would be fun since he's a ghost. And I'm not sure if he's like sad or scared or just upset. He kind of looks confused to me, but I tried to kind of capture that moment when Cole realizes he's a ghost now. So if anybody watches Ninjago, great show. I don't know why they changed it to match the movie. It was terrible after that. I'm so sad. This is a random doodle page. It started out with this tiny sketch of this girl here, and I drew this character in this different pose that I'm not sure about, and then these random circles with my pens. And this is the same character, guys, okay? This is what I was talking about with my style at the very beginning when I talked about drawing older people. So this character looks like he's 12. This character, just by giving him more realistic proportions, he looks like he's maybe 20. So same character, pretty much same shading, just this is my normal style, and this is more realistic. So, yeah, that's my problem. Characters in my style look way younger than they should. I should probably try to do something about that, but I'm comfortable with my style, so. Here's a cute little girl. I jokingly sent it to my cousin CJ the random child because I'm like, it kind of looks like her. And she thought it was adorable, so. It's just another little kid. I don't draw little kids a whole lot, and I don't draw older people a lot. A lot of them look kind of like they're in this age range. So, this was me redrawing the very first character. So if you'll remember, it was a little girl. She looked like she was maybe 4 or 5. Her front teeth were missing. And here she's obviously much older. She's at least a teenager, maybe in her 20s. But she's wearing pretty much the same outfit. The cute red dress, the bow in her hair, and the black flats. And instead of welcome, it says farewell. So that's the end, guys. I hope you enjoyed the sketchbook tour with me, maybe got to know me a little bit better and the kind of things that I draw. So hopefully you want to come back. Okay, this is Be Creative signing off. Bye!